Hello, this is Julie from Love's Beginning with a blog post entitled Allowing Heaven to Come to Earth. Spend more time becoming self-observant, less time being concerned with what is going on in the world, and no time blaming the world for your state of being. Not parents, not society, not God, but owning. From The Way of Mastery, Part 2, The Way of Transformation, from the Shanti Christo Foundation. What you are is constant. Whatever conditions appear to exist on the surface, they are what appears. They are what seems to be. If you do not judge those conditions, you are able to remember and maintain your awareness of the stability of what you are beyond all surface appearances. Whatever conditions exist around you, no one else is ever to blame for them. You are not to blame for them either, but they have come about as a result of reliance on ego. Once you can recognize this simple decision, you access the source of benign power that transforms all. What you're experiencing right now comes from the past. It's what you have manifested based on your past outlook. In a sense, you can only see the past when it comes to physical sensory input. Once you remember who you are and can enter into the energy of that, however, you have true access to the power of this now moment. This now moment is completely unaffected by the past. When you allow your future to be dictated by that, you allow heaven to return to earth. That's because heaven on earth is simply a mirror image of your true and shared self of love. The more you keep your attention on what you truly are, the more you allow your experience to transform. You allow repetitions from the past, like war, to wither and die. It truly is up to you. You are always responsible and never to blame. You always have access to all the power we are, and you can never truly be a victim. Do you want the future that unfolds in front of you to come from the love that you are, or from the fear that would judge separate elements in what is meeting your physical senses now? Do you want your future to tempt you to return to the false comfort of fear, or would you prefer future events to simply reflect your shared identity back to you? It truly is a decision, and the more you can remind yourself of this, the more often you will access the true power available to you in each moment. Be playful about this. You're discovering the superpower that you share equally with all others, and this power can never harm. It's a truly wondrous discovery. Catch yourself in a moment of distraction today. Now notice how during those moments when you were caught up in distraction, struggle, or conflict, you forgot that you had a choice. You were feeling subject to elements in your world as if you were separate from them and they could act upon you. When you remember your union with all that is and rest a moment there, you invite ease and transformation into your world. When you extend invitations frequently and then all the time, you come into your own as a light worker. This process is about divestment and investment. You discover that you are almost completely invested in five-sense experience, separate identity, and reactivity, but you sense something fundamental beyond that, prior to that. You begin to divest yourself of attachment to separation and judgment. As you do, your awareness of your true identity and love grows deeper and stronger. As your awareness grows, your investment in the truth grows until you have switched over completely. When you become more invested in granting your attention to love's ever-presence, you notice that inspiration and flow play a greater role in your life. Naturally, you want more of this. Inspired and flowing experiences are preferable, so you become more and more willing to see through the judgments that you once thought were there for your protection. Now witnessing yourself judging becomes your next and greatest opportunity to release into true identity. The more you remain in touch with the power you are, the more you realize that no separate thing in the world is the actual cause for fear. Rather, it was your original decision for fear, for the experience of separation, that led you to project fearful things out into the world so you can tangle with them. When you're done with the dance, you can stop. If you stop dancing with fear from the perspective of a vulnerable entity in conflict with others, your world doesn't get boring. The beauty of differentiation, the reality of harmony, is never boring. It's the difference between suffering and no suffering. Creation remains. Differentiation remains, but the illusory threat you imposed upon yourself is gone. Think of it like this. You wanted to be a swashbuckling pirate for a while, so you projected things out into the world so you could plunder them, fight with them, be conquered by them. Then you decided to move on from the shadow boxing to a more exciting level of creation called harmony. You are just setting down the sword. Even when you had the sword and believed in its power to harm, you were as safe as you are when you're creating in harmony. You may have thought that you died, but it's never possible for what you are to die. You just exchanged forms in the swashbuckling adventure. You have been fencing with illusions, and now you're ready to return to reality in harmonic creation. This return home is a great joy to us, and we delight in each step of your awakening. Thanks for joining me.